Hello and welcome to Box Box Box. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 2018 calendar, giving our thoughts and opinions on it. Joining me today we have regulars Adam Todd.
Good day.
And Craig McLean is back after his sleepy day yesterday.
Surfaced.
So first off, the main point about the calendar this year is there's one more race than there was this year. What are our opinions on that? Do you think there should be more races in the calendar, or do you think there's maybe too many at the minute?
I like the fact that there's more races in the calendar. I don't like the fact that they keep lowering the number of engines and engine components that are allowed to use, because it's just going to increase reliability problems, engine issues, penalties.
Yeah.
But I like the fact there's more races. I'd happily have 25, 26 races a season. It's good to see it. NASCAR has loads of races as well, so the more the better.
Adam, there might be a lot of races, but do you think they're a bit maybe unevenly distributed among the year? Do you think that's maybe a bad thing?
I think Liberty obviously want to add more races to the calendar, and that's what we're seeing even this week. We've had talks about a Danish Grand Prix potentially happening, and Liberty obviously want to go to countries, make Formula 1 bigger in those countries. But I think 21 just now is a pretty good number, because if I had my own way, from March to November I'd have a race every Sunday, but it's not practical obviously. So I think the number just now is pretty good. You could probably go up to maybe 24 at a push, but I think for the teams it's going to be a long struggle next season. But I think at the moment they are pretty distributed, especially this season. I think it's been well, because it's been a race every couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Which does give the teams to rest, and there's been the odd back-to-back. Obviously the further on the season you get a lot more back-to-backs together.
Yeah, next year there's going to be 5 races in 6 weeks, I think it was.
Yeah.
In June and July time, starting with the Canadian Grand Prix and ending with, which one is it? The Hungarian Grand Prix.
I think it actually goes from the French Grand Prix to, because there's 3 in a row going,
Yeah.
France, Austria and Britain.
Do you think that's maybe going to be too much? Maybe a bit of a struggle for the teams to.
Yeah, that's
to
going to be
do a turnaround
pretty
like that?
hard. I don't think there's ever been a triple header in Formula
Yeah.
1, not of actual official events. Obviously back in the day when they had non-championship events,
Yeah.
there would have been, but that's going to be a bit of a nightmare for teams to handle. I think by the time you get to Britain, and that's the 3rd race in a row, you might see quite a few cars not finishing the race. It's been a pretty difficult turnaround for them, so it might cause a bit of chaos. It'll be interesting to see how they handle it though.
Yep.
I suppose the only positive is that they're all European based and they are quite close together.
Silverstone's the perfect place for
You've
them to
got
end.
France, Austria, Great Britain.
Yeah.
Maybe if
where most of the teams are
if
based.
fans
So
want to do a wee road trip going to like 3 in a row or something, then if you've got the money for that, obviously.
Yes.
But there is the opportunity to do that. Also, there's 2 races being added this year: Germany and France, both being brought back. Germany obviously is taking place from the 20th to 22nd of July, and the French Grand Prix is taking place from the 22nd to 24th of June at the Nürburgring and Paul Ricard.
Hockenheimring.
Hockenheimring, I can barely read. Respectively. Thoughts on those races?
I think it's great to have both those tracks back, especially Germany. It's kind of been on and off the deal with the Hockenheimring, the Nürburgring. That didn't quite work out because of the Nürburgring's financial troubles. But great to have Germany back on the calendar, especially when you look at who's dominating the sport at the moment. Mercedes, especially with how well a German driver doing, Sebastian Vettel. So that's what you want, because Germany is a key market for Formula 1, and France as well. Romain Grosjean, he could have been a future star. I don't think he'll get a chance at a top team. I think he's maybe past it now, and there's a lot more young drivers coming through that teams like Ferrari and Mercedes will be looking at more than Grosjean now. But great for, again, France, a big market as well. You do wonder why we've not had a French Grand Prix in 10 years.
I think France is very important. Yeah, obviously Paul Ricard is a classic circuit. First hosted the race in, I think, 1973. It's been on the calendar a lot. Obviously Manny Cour got it in 91, so it stopped, or 1990 even, it stopped going to Paul Ricard for a while. But
Great for fans in the UK, these ones.
Yeah,
Simple to
it's quite easy to get to that as well. And there's another European race. I like most of the European circuits that are on the calendar, to be quite honest, so I'm glad that France is coming back. As for Germany obviously is an important market. Look at the last 15-20 years. They've had Schumacher, they've had Vettel, they've had 11 championships between the two of them.
Constructors as well.
Yeah, obviously they've got Mercedes. I was at the German Grand Prix in 2016. It was almost surprising to see. It was not a sellout in the slightest, and the town, Hockenheim, kind of gave off a vibe that it wasn't that desperate to keep the Grand Prix. I mean, hence obviously the fact that it's only alternating every second year. But hopefully it'll start to come back.
Yeah, I
maybe
suppose
year.
with Germany, they've just came off the back of that huge Schumacher era, and
Yeah.
everybody was a Schumacher fan in Germany.
When I was there on in the campsite, it's all Schumacher fans.
Whereas
It's
people-
still all Schumacher
exactly,
fans.
and people didn't feel the same way to obviously Nico Rosberg, if you like,
Yeah.
even though he raced under the German banner, finishing GP2
Yeah.
and lives in Monaco.
I think
It's the
Vettel-
same with
Vettel's first
Sebastian
as well
Vettel,
didn't
yeah,
quite
he's
get the
still
fan
not as loved
not endeared
and
himself
adored,
to the
yeah,
fans as much.
as much as Schumacher.
I think this year could be a bit of a changer. I think there'll be a few more fans at the race this year, hopefully. I like the track Hockenheim. I've always preferred that to the Nürburgring circuit a little bit, so I'm glad it's there.
Yep. So we talked a bit about this on the podcast yesterday. Check it out if you haven't seen it. This weekend marks the last Malaysia Grand Prix for who knows how long. We asked the guys what their favourite memories of the track were. Craig, obviously you weren't here. What would you
Yeah,
say?
I mean, one of my most prominent memories is sitting for hours waiting for the cars to restart in 2009, which obviously never happened when the race got rained off. So Button got the victory in the Brawn that day. There's been loads of classic moments in Malaysia, to be honest, going way back. 2001 was absolute chaos. I mean, even for the first race, 99 was chaos. Obviously, Irvine and Schumacher getting the 1-2, being disqualified, Hakkinen being awarded the championship, and then it being reinstated so that the championship fight went to the last race in Suzuka. It's been a great track in my view. I think it's one of Tilke's finest tracks. I like it. Obviously, the fan base isn't huge there. I think that's obviously a deciding factor. And obviously, when Eccleston was in, I think they were being overcharged, which is quite a contributing factor as to why it's going off the calendar. It's sad to see, but MotoGP gets much more of a following at Sepang than Formula 1 does. So
I think ticket sales, as you say, they have dropped
I
significantly.
think it's because there's so many races
Yeah,
around
as
there
I
close
said, the
proximity
rest
to
of the
each
year,
other now.
because when it did first come on the calendar in '99, you obviously had Suzuka, but in the actual region close to Malaysia, there wasn't that many. Whereas now, you do have so
Singapore's
many.
right there, like.
Exactly, and that's just 2 weeks after Malaysia, so it's probably not at the best time to have it in the calendar either.
So this is one that could come up with quite a bit of different answers. What circuits would you like to see involved in F1 in the future, and what current ones should be scrapped, if any? Obviously.
I mean, obviously, we're talking about the Danish one. That would be good to see. I'd like to see that. I've got quite an old-fashioned viewpoint on it, although I like international circuits. There are ones I would like to see come back, such as Kyalami in South Africa. That was a great circuit. Buenos Aires, Argentina, so that would really spread it around the world. So it'd be good to see tracks like that come back. But I do like the European calendar. There are a lot of tracks that should be on it again. A Danish Grand Prix would be quite good to see it go there. Obviously, Formula E is going back to Switzerland, so that's the first time there's been motor racing there since 1955. So that could be a potential market for the future. Zandvoort is one that I've missed. I think with Max Verstappen coming into Formula 1, Holland should be thinking about introducing a Grand Prix as well, whether it's at Zandvoort, Assen, or somewhere else. It would be great to see Holland in the calendar. As for races that should be scrapped, nothing on the calendar
Happy
really
with
jumps
races?
out at the moment. I'm quite happy with the calendar at the moment. China's a track I've never been massive on, but at the same time they get a relatively good fan base there. It's grown over the years, so
And this Chinese market's key for Formula 1,
Yeah,
especially
for
when
the
you've got a
future.
Chinese team coming in
yeah.
to Formula 1 or looking to come into Formula 1 because of the sheer population. It's important that China does stay on the calendar.
Any future races you'd like to?
Just the exact same as Craig. I think Verstappen is, a world champion in waiting. He could be as big as Michael Schumacher. So I think Formula 1, Liberty Media have to be looking at getting a Dutch Grand Prix on that
I
calendar.
mean, the
as soon as
fan base
possible.
already is astounding. You look at how much of Belgium they take. I think Hungary they do it, Austria they do it.
80,000 fans in Belgium.
Yeah,
And then a full stand in Austria as well, so the fan base is huge in the Netherlands, and that's before he's even started to fight for wins every week.
Do you think there will ever be a race in Africa somewhere? Do you think we'll ever get one?
I mean South Africa, as I was saying, has had a Grand Prix. Had a Grand Prix last in 1993. They had a Grand Prix. They had a Grand Prix in Morocco in the 50s. I think other than South Africa, I don't really envisage anywhere else. Actually,
Okay, yeah,
obviously they have the Marrakesh circuit and World Touring Cars.
They go there in Formula E, do they not?
I
Yeah.
believe they may be starting to go there yet. It's not a great circuit in Marrakesh, but it would be good to see that market opening as well. Other than South Africa, though, I don't know where really could have it, where it could afford it. Something like Egypt could be interesting theoretically.
Cairo, somewhere.
Yeah.
Adam, any thoughts on that?
I think Craig's right again. Africa obviously used to have the South African Grand Prix, and realistically, it is the only place that you could host an African race. I mean, there's no point going to these random countries in Africa and hosting a race just for the fun of it. There has to be a solid fan base there right from the start.
They have to be able to financially afford
exactly,
it.
otherwise it'll be off the calendar after 1 year. That's the reality of the
Korea
situation.
all over again,
Exactly.
India all over
Look at
again.
Korea, India, absolutely.
So, last question. All these races here, if you had unlimited budget, which one would you most want to go to?
Well,
All of them.
I am going to Austria next year, so that's a good start, and I'm hoping to go to one other. We're having conversations about this, whether it be France, whether it be Hungary, whether it be Italy, we'll see. If I could go to any race, Australia would be absolutely class to go to. It's always a good race, it's a good circuit, always a sellout, good fan base there. Obviously it would be quite the experience as well going to the other side of the world.
Yeah.
After that, I'd go Canada or Japan. I think they're two classic circuits as well.
I'd go for Singapore. I think from a fan's perspective, street circuits are always the best. In my opinion, anyway. Going to a street circuit because you get so close to the cars. You know, at certain tracks you've got huge gravel traps separating you from the track in a grandstand. So in Singapore, it just looks a spectacle racing under the floodlights and then the firework display at the end. It just looks incredible. So I think Singapore for me and
Yeah.
Monaco.
Along those same lines, I think I'd go for Azerbaijan. I think Baku looks like a beautiful city on the surface at least.
I think that would be a great Grand Prix.
I think
People doubted it the first year, and I don't know why, but this last year proved
It's
how
not
how
too
chaos.
It's a great
Something about the
isn't it?
track is
The street
chaotic.
circuit is absolutely fantastic.
yeah.
Street circuit. I mean, that huge long straight.
The long straight, it causes chaos at restarts. I can see there being restarts. There's going to be safety cars every year you go there because it's so tight.
as well. See
The castle section, one of
Yeah,
the
castle
best
section,
parts
yeah.
of any F1 track. It's not too heavily attended, that one either. It's probably it's not one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
But they probably can't fit any more people in, to be honest. But that's that. That's a quick look at the F1 calendar for next year. Maybe it will change a bit, maybe it won't. We don't know. But this is what it's looking like. Just now, so thank you very much for watching. We'll hope you enjoyed the Malaysia Grand Prix. This weekend we'll be back on Monday or Tuesday with our podcast reviewing that race. Hopefully it's a good one. So thanks to Adam Todd
Thank you.
and Craig McLean.
Thanks again.
And we'll see you next week. Box Box Box.